Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, David. Welcome to what is most likely the most overdue video on my YouTube channel. If you guys remember back to the second video, the very second video on my YouTube channel, that video is explaining how to keep Sharpie on custom minifigures. And in that video, I promised that this video would be coming soon. Well, I guess my soon is 3 months late, so I apologize for that, guys. I did mean to get this out very much before this, but I kind of got sidetracked with other business and other issues that need to be resolved and other videos. And I am happy that you guys enjoyed those other videos, but now I'm finally getting back to this. So I hope you guys enjoy. I will be showing you guys how to make this custom Galactic Marine, which I made myself. Unfortunately, I cannot recreate all the steps I did extremely perfectly, but I can walk you through them and kind of explain them to you in detail. So if you guys want to learn how to make this awesome minifigure, then stay tuned. So guys, starting off with the materials you will need to make this awesome Galactic Marine. First and most importantly, you will need a regular white Snowtrooper minifigure. You can use any kind of Snowtrooper. I have the one that's like from 2009, I believe. Yes, this is the 2009 Snowtrooper. So you will need one of them. You can use a Snowtrooper, like any kind of Snowtrooper that LEGO has made, but personally I just use this one. Not for any particular reason other than it was the only one that I could find. I got this guy, but this is another Snowtrooper. You can get these for $5 off Walmart.com. You cannot purchase them at the store because they're from an online partner with Walmart that I cannot remember the name of right now. But you can get that guy for like $5, $6, and he does come with this little black blaster here, but you can get rifles. Like, it doesn't matter what weapon he comes with, is what I'm trying to say. He sells with this little black pistol on Walmart.com, but you can use a rifle. A rifle would be probably a little more accurate, but it doesn't really matter, honestly, which blaster your Galactic Marine has. Also, next most importantly, you will need a red Sharpie. Obviously, because he's red, I don't think I really need to explain that. I got a Sharpie, 8-pack off Walmart.com for, I can't remember. It wasn't expensive, though. So if you guys check Walmart, that's where I get most of my materials for all this stuff. So definitely check them out. Also, you will need a black Sharpie. The black Sharpie obviously is not as important as the red Sharpie, but you will need it to touch up some areas on your Galactic Marine. Also very important, you will need packaging tape. Don't mind the little piece of cardboard here. That's just so that when I'm peeling it off, it'll come off easier. So you will need that. You can use Scotch tape. You don't necessarily need to use packaging tape, but packaging tape or masking tape would work a lot better because it's much higher quality. It won't tear or peel off or anything like that. It'll really stay and keep the Sharpie on your minifigure, but I'll explain that later. Also, you will need scissors. So you can use any scissors. These are just some very useful and durable, efficient scissors. I like these because they're just they're easy to use, they're large, and they don't really make mistakes a whole lot of the time. So that is all the materials you'll need, except for one other thing, is this armor on the Galactic Marine. This is not Lego armor, as you can probably tell. This is armor that I made myself, but I will be explaining how to make that later in the video. It's not really a material that you can find, so that's why I didn't include it here, but I will be explaining how to make that later on, so stay tuned. Alright guys, now we're diving into the whole tutorial part of the video. So we've passed materials and introduction and all that. So now I'll be explaining how to take this guy and turn him into this guy. So I will be breaking him down into several different steps, including helmet, the shoulder pads, the torso, the legs, the arms, the waist cape, and all that stuff. So let's dive into it. Starting with the helmets for these two minifigures, you can see this is just the regular Snowtrooper helmet, all white is how it comes. You can use any variation of Stormtrooper, or Snowtrooper rather, and some of them have the larger little mouth protecting area. Not sure what that's called, scarf I guess maybe, but it doesn't really matter which type of helmet you get, you just basically do the same thing on each one. So as you can see, this part of the helmet has red, this little cape around the back, and then the top of the helmet has red on it. So this is where you will need your red Sharpie. That's all you need for the helmet basically, and then you obviously need the helmet. So what you do is you would take your helmet. I'm not actually going to do it because this is one of my other my only other snowtroopers, and I don't want to turn them into a Galactic Marine. But basically what you do, it's pretty self-explanatory. You just take the Sharpie, and then in fine strokes go around this little cape on the back, kind of like that. Keep doing that until it's all redded in, and then go around the outline of it like that to kind of outline it better. And then for the top, what you need to do is you need to go just around until you get to the top, kind of go like that. And then you guys might be wondering, like, how did I get this to be so smooth and polished looking? What you have to do after you do the Sharpie, blow on it for 30 seconds to a minute at most, and then you need to take a tissue and pat it. Don't wipe it, because if you wipe it, it'll smear it and take some of it off even. You just need to kind of pat it until it gets like that. Don't worry if some of your little tissue pieces come off and get stuck and kind of make like a fuzzy area around there. You just need to do another layer. I had to do probably 7 to 10 layers on this to make it come out this great. So don't worry if you make a mistake and it kind of smears or anything like that, because that will happen. It happens to everyone. You can't really get around that unless you're like a extreme professional, I suppose. But yeah, that's the helmet basically, guys. Now for the shoulder pads, as you guys can see, this guy does not have shoulder pads, so we're just going to kind of move him off to this side here. This guy's shoulder pads, however, as you can see, they do look like the Galactic Marine shoulder pads that you can see in episode 3. So how I did this, guys, is go to Google or whatever and type in Galactic Marine shoulder armor or shoulder pads or something like that, and it'll come up with several different images. I found this one, so try to find something close to this. If you find a colored image, do not use it. Just use a black and white, like grayish colored image, because that's what the Galactic Marine shoulder pads look like. Once you get that, print it off. You might have printed off a few times to make sure it's the right size, but the size should be about hand width on a minifigure, so it comes out about to the end of the hands, as you can see mine does. After you print it out, you need to cut it out, and then for the hole that the head or the neck rather will go through, take a hole puncher and punch the hole out. So you need to make sure it's big enough that it won't punch through the whole thing, but it'll just punch a hole through the middle, because you can't use scissors for this, because then it won't come out as clean looking, and it could be messed up and cut through by the scissors, and we don't want that to happen. So punch your hole, and then what you need to do after you cut the whole thing out is take the masking tape, or the packaging tape rather, that I showed you guys later. Take the tape and say this is like say you have your little piece of shoulder armor here. Take the tape, put it on both sides of the shoulder armor, so take a piece here and a piece here, and then cut out around the shoulder armor to like cut out the tape and the shoulder armor together. You can see it's not like I cut them separately and stuck them together. I cut them the same at the same time, so that they would come out clean like this, and then you need to punch your hole to make the neck hole again, and that's basically how I made the shoulder armor. So just make sure it's the right size. Keep printing until you get the right size. Try to measure it out on your computer. That's what I tried to do, but it did take me about 2 or 3 times before I got the right size for the shoulder armor. Now for the torso, guys, this is definitely the most challenging part of this minifigure by far. For this step, you will need a red Sharpie, you will need your black Sharpie, you will need your tape, and you will need your scissors. So you will need all of these things, guys, and this is definitely the hardest part. So let me explain. So on this regular minifigure, you can see it's just a white torso and white arms. So right now I'm not going to be covering the arms, I'm just going to be covering the torso. So what you need to do is you need to color the majority red. Keep the belt as white as possible, though, because the Galactic Marine's belt area is white. So just color this part red, and then as you can see up, these little areas are black. So if you can see that little top area, color up there black, because that's how it's supposed to be. And then the back of the torso, as you can see here, is just a regular red color, so just color that red. And then kind of like you did with the shoulder armor, what you'll have to do to keep the Sharpie on this torso is you'll need to use the tape to like keep it on there so it won't smudge or anything. I didn't use tape on the helmet. I forgot to mention that, actually, because if you try to put tape on this, it would just make like a cone, and he would look like he was at a birthday party or something instead of fighting against the droid army. So for the torso, color it red, color black up there. Take your tape, and this is like a one-shot attempt, because if you peel it off, you'll have to do your whole torso and stuff. Make sure you do the padding down like you do on the helmet, all that stuff. Take your tape, stick it on the front of the torso, cut along the edges of the torso. Make sure you take the arms off for this step, by the way, guys. Stick it on the front, stick it on the back, cut it all out around the torso. Stick your tape on the sides, and then cut it out around the sides. Make sure it's all stuck down right, and you guys might be wondering, how are you going to get the arms in if there's tape there? You cannot use scissors for this, guys. What you'll need is you'll need a little needle. I suppose you could use scissors, but what you'll need is the little needle. Poke out little tiny holes all around the armhole, and that will leave just enough of like, it'll make it able for you to pop that little hole out, and then you'll be able to stick your arms in. So that's basically the torso. It's pretty fast to explain, but it is very difficult. Make sure you pat it down after you Sharpie it, and then make sure you poke your holes out with a needle, and remember not to color the belt red, because that would not look as accurate. Next, guys, for the arms and hands, as you can see, for the hands, I did not use these white hands. I changed it to black hands because that is more accurate. So if you have black hands in your collection, then use them. If you have the white hands, I would stick with them. I wouldn't try to, like, color them black or something with a black Sharpie, because that just would not work out. For the arms, though, do not color them red. I used red arms. Like, I found red arms in my collection. So if you have red arms, definitely use them. If you don't have red arms, you can try to color them, but then you wouldn't be able to, like, use your minifigure, like, pick them up, because I can't pick mine up by the helmet because it might smudge the Sharpie. It stays on pretty well because it's been on there for a while now, but just, I can't really pick them up by there, and I wouldn't be able to pick them up by here if I colored the arms, so I'd kind of have to, like, awkwardly pick them up by his gun or something like that. But yeah, try to find red arms in your collection. If you can't, then color them or order red arms or something like that. For the waist cape, guys, this is a lot like the shoulder armor that I mentioned earlier, so a lot of the steps will work kind of the same. So this is not a Lego waist cape, this is one I made myself. So this guy does not have a waist cape, so we're just going to kind of move him over here. So for the waist cape, find a waist cape image on your computer, preferably black and white, so that you can kind of color it in, and then print it off, stick your tape on the top. I'll bump the camera there. Stick your tape on the bottom, cut it out, punch your holes, your 4 holes for where the legs will go. It should show that on the template of your waist cape, so I don't really need to explain that a whole lot. And then you need to color the waist cape, actually, guys. We didn't have to do this with the shoulder armor, so I'm going to have to explain this to you guys. Take your red, and then you need to color all the way around, except leave a little tiny white line, as you guys can see, all the way around. There's this white line, so make sure you do that, and then just kind of fit it onto your guys' legs. Alright, guys, that's going to end this video out. I hope you guys really enjoyed learning how to make this custom Galactic Marine minifigure. If you did, please drop a like. That's always very much appreciated. Please comment to let me know your questions or thoughts about this minifigure. What do you think I could do better? Did I miss anything? I'm pretty sure I didn't, but I could have. If you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comment section, because I would love to answer those in detail in the comment section. So I'm pretty sure I went over everything in this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel, because then you won't miss a thing, and you will always get updates when new LEGO videos come out. Have a great day, guys, and I'll see you all later. Here it is, C&J Entertainment, the Echo Bass. As I previously mentioned, I did not make this for a mock contest or for a YouTube video necessarily. So I don't know if it's mock challenge or YouTube video worthy, but I think it was pretty cool, so I thought it was worth making a video on.